Hey, welcome to Culture Shock. So I want to ask you a pretty provocative question this week, and I hope you'll work with me on this. I've been reading quite a lot lately about the invasion of Iraq in 2003, and how the one thing that really drove that was a closed information loop. That's what I'm going to call it, for want of a better term, a closed information loop. A group of people who thought alike and who believed the same things and who helped to fulfill each other's thought processes. They helped to build up and build on one another. They didn't challenge one another. They didn't enrich each other's thinking in any way. They just confirmed what they already wanted to believe, and as a result, they went and did something absolutely catastrophic. And I always think these big examples are big neon signs, because we're probably doing something similar on a much smaller scale. You possibly are doing something similar on a much smaller scale. And I wonder if there's a lesson in this for you. Because the closed information loops exist everywhere. They exist in business, and they probably exist in yours. You've read the same books as everybody, right? You've seen the same TED Talks. You've been to the same conferences. You quote the same people. You believe the same things, even if those things aren't true. And as a result of that, your information loop is one that very often it just helps to feed off itself. You feed off each other. You confirm each other's already existing points of view. You don't challenge one another. You don't enrich each other's thinking. And part of the problem with culture, part of the problem with trying to do anything that is so changeable and that has so many variables because of the human dynamic, part of it is that if we don't enrich our thinking regularly and don't add that to that and shake it up, etc., we cannot solve the problems. And I bet you, I've sat there inside large corporates, small organizations. It wouldn't surprise me to find you in a similar sort of situation right now, where you know what you want to do, but you don't seem to be able to get it done. And the solution to this is simply to enrich your thinking some more. That could be by turning to the people inside your organization, the smart people, smart, educated, skilled, experienced people who are all around you, but are never consulted on this stuff. You put together a brain trust, put together a group of people and say, listen, we're struggling. We actually don't know what to do here. We know we need to drive higher levels of engagement, but we can't see the wood for the trees. That's one way of doing it. Another way of doing it would be to bring in a total rando from outside the organization, an athlete, somebody who's done something excellent, a small business owner who's had to really face this stuff already and maybe learning the lessons right now firsthand that you've long since forgotten. Those sorts of people who can come in and add richness to your thinking as well. The one thing you want to avoid doing is only including in your thought process people who already think the way you do. I'm forever haunted by the fact that the only thing that turned IBM around in the mid-90s, after it had a near-death experience in the early 90s, was that they hired, for the first time ever, a CEO from outside the organization. That was the first time in nearly 100 years they did that. And that person took one look at the culture and said, but it's a closed information loop. The problem is we can't see the wood for the trees because we all believe the same things, and so we're incapable of solving the problems. It's really interesting to me. It's been food for thought for me all this week. I hope it's food for thought for you as well. And I wish you a really successful week.